Hello folks, this is Mike Mott with Mott & Associates with your April economic update. In this video we'll discuss major events that occurred in April and also discuss what might affect the markets in the days and weeks ahead. Before we get started, there will be a required disclosure at the end, so I hope you take a few seconds to look that over. Now the markets had a turbulent month. Major indices basically ended on a mixed note. Interesting fact, despite all the volatility, the Dow rallied on good news and on the last day of the month actually had its highest close ever. So let's look at it. For the month, the S&P was up 0.63%, the Dow gained 0.75%, but the NASDAQ actually lost 2%. First quarter earnings seasons kicked off in April. Cold weather definitely drove weak growth. We see that company performance, though, wasn't so bad. Earnings revenue and growth were both up. We see companies are still struggling with slow demand. However, business leaders did well to lower the expectations going forward, and so they weren't really surprised at the mediocre results for the quarter. The economic data still seems to be generally positive, however, suggesting that this economy is still on solid footing. The seasonal effects of that chilly winter may dissipate by the summer. So the Federal Reserve met last week, the last week of April, and they voted to continue the tapering of bond purchases. This wasn't a surprise. The good news is, though, the Fed continues to have faith in our economic recovery. Consumer spending, a major part of economic growth, soared in March. In fact, it was the best in almost 5 years. Warmer weather brought buyers to shopping malls and car dealerships. That gives us hope that the economy is gaining momentum. Now, as far as jobless came, they actually rose the last week of April unexpectedly, and we think that was due to what they call seasonal effects. Things like Easter and spring breaks can cause huge swings in the data, so we're going to have to wait for the monthly jobs report to provide more underlying strength, to find more about the underlying strength of the labor market. We also got our first look at the gross domestic product estimates for this year. The U.S. economy is projected at this point, the first quarter, a sluggish 0.1%. That's mostly because of that winter. It caused the chill that we've been talking about, but remember, it's just an estimate anyway, so the data could show a rosier picture once we get it. The housing market, one of the things that's been a major driver of our economy for the last couple of years, is starting to look like it may be faltering. Due to rising mortgage interest rates, raising prices of new homes, and of course that winter again, has caused the new and existing home sales to fall in April. In fact, it's the third month in a row that they've fallen. So that's a concern. But on the other hand, tight housing inventory, improving employment data may encourage buyers to get back in there and start buying houses again, so we'll see. And of course, you've heard about the crisis in Ukraine. It continues to simmer and it's tempered the market activity a little bit. A good thing, large-scale violence has not erupted so far, but the Ukrainian government just seems to be losing control over the eastern Ukraine. The Russians continue to amass troops on the border, so we really don't know how this is going to come out. It's too early to tell. I think what investors are concerned about is the possible disruption of the flow of natural gas through that region and how it might affect corporate profits. So as we look ahead, we're going to continue to watch the economic data very closely. We're going to see if those seasonal effects are going to give way to stronger growth as we suspect. But one thing we're pretty sure about is you can expect more volatility. We hope that the second quarter is going to show investors that there's some upside. If we can get some good news, we think that might happen. Once again, this is Mike Mott with Mott & Associates. We'd love to hear your comments. You can put them in the section that's down below. If you have any questions about the commentary or anything about your own personal financial situation, give us a call at 941-746-3216, and we'd be happy to talk with you. So before I let you go to the disclosure, I just want to thank you so much for your time, and hope you have a great day.
While we believe the information in this report is reliable, we cannot guarantee its accuracy. Opinions expressed are subject to change without notice and are not intended as investment advice or a solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security. Please consult your financial professional before making any investment decision.